Hello guys, it is Grace. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is actually a really requested one. I keep getting questions on how I edit my Instagram pictures. So I use a couple of different apps to edit my Instagram pictures. Here is my Instagram, by the way. I use a couple different apps. I don't really heavily edit them. I used to use presets, you know, those really strong, like heavy Lightroom presets. I used to use them on my pictures and it just didn't go down well because it would look so grainy and just too bright, like there was too much going on in the photos. I sort of toned down my editing now. I used to use those really bright Lightroom filters and they just didn't look good on me, because it sort of just makes you look all grainy and like it brightens everything up too much. I feel like I've got the perfect balance of editing now. I think I know what suits me and what doesn't, what sort of filters, because all different filters will look different on different people. So like imagine a blue tone filter is gonna make maybe an olive tone person wash out because it will make their skin look more blue, whereas a blue tone filter might really suit a more warm, a more red toned person because it will counteract with the skin. I'm really like deep in these filters. I'm really like going into depth with these filters, but you will probably have to get a couple apps and like figure out a few things to really find out what suits you. I'm going to start with this one right here that you'll see right now. It's quite bright. I've brightened everything up. I've added a bit of sparkle to the sunglasses. I do use Facetune only to smooth my skin. I've only got like the free app, so I don't think you can do anything really apart from that on there. I don't ever edit my body or edit like any of my features, because I've tried it before and it makes you look really weird if you try and edit all your features. It just looks really odd. So I don't edit like my face, or like I don't edit my face or make my lips look bigger or edit my nose or anything. Like I just leave it at that, but I just smooth my skin to, because I get oily patches around here and I just don't like how it looks, so I do smooth that. But yeah, so I feel like only recently I've really got the hang of Instagram. Like I used to really struggle with poses and I used to find it so awkward, especially being out in public. Like I used to find it so awkward posing in front of people, but now I really don't care. So yeah, I feel like only recently I've sort of got the gist of it. Smooth my skin a little bit. So you can see like there's a bit of an oily patch here. So I'm just going to smooth that. And not really because I'm like, not really for me, but just because it makes the photo look more smooth, if that makes sense. Like I don't really care about my oily patch on my chin, it's just, it makes the photo look more put together. And then say I do have a bit of patchy tan, I will just face tune the patchy tan, but luckily in this picture there is none. I think I had fresh tan on. But sometimes I do get a little bit on my hand, like a dodgy hand, so I have to face tune it. I'm going to take it into I'm going to take it into Lightroom first, because on Lightroom I like to adjust the light, make it bright and everything, sort of sort out the light. So I'm going to up the exposure just a tiny little bit. Is it still recording? A little bit. I don't like having too much exposure. The highlights, up them a tiny bit as well. Actually, I think I did that quite... I'm trying to remember what I did on the last one. Up that quite a bit. Shadow, I don't really like the look of the shadows. Leave that. Whites. Now, whites is something that I really like to brighten up, so I like the image to look quite polished. I feel like if you up the whites, that makes the image look really polished. So, and then blacks, I sort of just leave the blacks. Contrast, sometimes I do like to up the contrast a little bit. And then depending on what I look like, sometimes if I'm a bit pale, I will make myself look more tanned by so you go on to the colours and then you take the luminance down so it makes you look more tanned, like so. I can't remember what I did, so I think I'm going to leave it just in case I end up too orange, because the filter I use on Visco is very orange. So I do sometimes get comments like your tan is way too dark, but the filter that I use makes it look darker because it makes the image look kind of like cream and crisp. I can't explain it, but you'll see what I mean. Right, so I'm going into Visco now and I'm gonna open. Okay, so I've got the image. You have to pay for Visco as well, but you can get Visco for free, but you only get a certain amount of filters. I think it's not a lot a year, I think it's like £20 a year, which is really good because you get all of these filters and you get to play around with them. There's so many on here. So I have a little list of my favourites on Visco, but this one is the one that I use in most of my pictures. It's DOG1. So that pretty much looks like the image on my Instagram now, but there is one little finishing touch that we have to do. So I'm going to take it into an app called Kira. It adds sparkles to the photo, and you can like have as much sparkle as you want or as little sparkle as you want. I did it with my photo the other day. I don't know if you can see it there. I added a little bit of sparkle to the Dior bag. It lets you adjust how much sparkle, so you could go all out and have that much, or you can just have a teeny little tiny bit, so it just catches the like. I should have added a little bit more actually when I posted this picture. You can add just a little tiny bit for like the bag and everything. So I'm going to save it as that. And save it as a Kira photo, not as a Kira graph. Not as a Kira graph because that would make it a video, but a Kira photo will just be a picture. I'm pretty sure that is exactly how it looked on my Instagram. So I do occasionally post a picture of my Polaroids, and I always get asked how I edit that. So, how I take pictures like this and this. So what I will do, people think I've used like a filter and I haven't. What I will do, I take them on my Insta X mini camera, and it just prints them off as you take it, and it gives this like 90s, that sort of vintagey effect. It literally prints them off like this. I've got so many in my drawer. And then I'll take a picture of it against the ring light, or you could just do it against a window. Just take a picture of it up close. And then I like to, when I added the border, I used an app called Made. So I went on to Made, I took a picture of it. And yeah, this one the other day, you'll see it, you've seen it already. I wanted to add like a border. So what I did was I went on to Made, and they do Instagram story frames. So they do little templates like this. But here we have the Polaroids, and I just took this one. And I literally added, you can add any picture you want to it. Let's just add this one for example. Just crop the image to the size of an Instagram post, or you could put that on your story if you wanted to. Oh. I'm really not the best at taking Instagrams at all. I do need to up my game, but I feel like you get better with time. You do get better with time at posing and like being less embarrassed. And you know what I didn't appreciate? I didn't appreciate living so close to London for taking good Instagram pictures. So as soon as all of this is over, I'm going to be taking so many good Instagrams because I'm sick to death of taking it in my house. I'm running out of places to take pictures, honestly. I don't know what to do, like I'm running out. I'm sick of it. So as soon as this lockdown is over, I'm gonna be like going to London every single day of the week to take good pictures because I didn't appreciate it while I had it. But yeah, that is the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Give it a big thumbs up. Let me know down below any other videos you want me to film, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye. Mwah.